Hey everybody, Steve here at Cypress Lawn Memorial Park in Colma, California. And I've been here a couple of times before, well, a few times before. And if you've seen any of those videos, you know that this cemetery is enormous. And it's actually divided by this main street here, which is El Camino Real. So the person I'm trying to find today is Harry Flamburis. He was a former president of the Hells Angels here in the San Francisco area, here I believe in Daly City, which is just right next door to Colma, California. And sadly, he was murdered at the young age of 37. And he was buried here with his motorcycle. And that's why I wanted to see his gravesite today. Well, I've been walking around for about an hour now. I definitely found this section. That was easy to find. But the actual graves, I've found a couple that do seem to be marked, and there's even a couple of markers at the curb, but for some reason I cannot find his gravesite anywhere. So I'm just looking and looking, and well, you know that old saying, for the life of me I can't find his gravesite, but I have found 5 other Hells Angels gravesites here in this section, so I'm sure I'm in the right section. In fact, I was just about ready to give up and go to the office and see if they could give me directions on a map, and then I found a former vice president of the Hells Angels, found his gravesite, and Harry's Find a Grave Memorial page said that there were other Hells Angels gravesites near his. So I thought, well, I must be getting close, because I found 5 other Hells Angels gravesites, so his gravesite has to be here somewhere. So I just kept looking, and finally, here it is. I kind of walked past it 3 or 4 times. So if you could be buried with something or in something, what would it be? I know there are a couple people who have been buried in their cars. Now, Harry wasn't buried on his motorcycle. The motorcycle was actually buried after he was buried. According to a couple of articles that I read online, Harry and his girlfriend, Danette Barrett, were brutally murdered, and as far as I can tell, their deaths are still considered an unsolved crime. Harry was born on February 21st, 1939, and died January 6, 1977, in Daly City. His name was Harry Flamburis, but his nickname was The Horse. Back in 1977, his funeral made headline news when hundreds of fellow Hells Angels rode through the streets of Colma and the cemetery itself on their motorcycles in a very loud funeral procession that definitely grabbed everyone's attention. So if you're wondering why they buried him with his motorcycle, it seems to have been something of a symbolic gesture, similar to when an athlete's number is retired. To honor Harry, they wanted to make sure that no one else would ever ride his motorcycle. Obviously, he was very well loved, and since 1977, quite a few other Hells Angels members have also decided to be buried in this section to be near Harry. In the Holly section, on the west side of El Camino Real, so if you do plan to come and visit yourself, you'll be able to come right to the grave. It's very easy to find now. It looks like Harry and the other Hells Angels buried nearby, and I hope I didn't miss others. It looks like they're well visited. You can see by the trinkets and things left at their gravesites. And these are some of the most colorful and nicest headstones I've seen in a cemetery. This week I want to give a shout out and a very big thank you to my newest Patreon supporter, Patricia Woolard. Thank you, Patricia, for your very kind donation to my channel. It's very appreciated. And thank you to all of you who have taken the time to subscribe. That means a lot and helps a lot too. And here's the final message on the back side of Mark Perry's headstone. This epitaph kind of says it all, doesn't it? Until our next trip to the cemetery together. Thanks for sharing the memories, everybody.